Danny.
Living in the sky.
Okay, maybe you could do like.
You know what I mean? I can't.
Karaoke.
You know what I mean? Catch me at the karaoke bar, man. I'm in there.
Welcome to another episode of Living Single with Dan and Danny. As always, I'm Danny, and in front of me is Dan.
This is Dan bringing you our first promotional commercial during the season 3. We will be hosting a live podcast on October 5th. Again, that's Saturday, October 5th. The link is in the bio. More details coming soon. We want to say $5. Use the code LivingSinglePod, and your ticket will be $21.
Just Living Single. That's the code now.
Oh, Living Single?
Yeah.
Use the code LivingSingle, and your tickets will just be $21. See you there.
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
To our right are two lovely ladies who happen to be our guests. If you want to introduce yourselves.
Tell us one fun fact.
Oh, a fun fact. Okay. My name is Cheyenne. You want last name too?
No,
Okay.
government. It's streets out here.
Okay,
No,
that's
heavens, no.
I guess my fun fact, well, y'all already know this, but I have a 3-year-old son named Cooper, and he's my life.
Chihuahua.
He's a dog, by the way. And I pretty much grew up with nothing but chihuahuas.
See, titles?
Yeah. Like, I've had a terrier, but she died early on, so we don't really count her.
So only chihuahuas?
Mm-hmm.
Is Cooper a mix?
He's a Chihuahua.
He's a Chihuahua.
I was about to say, I feel like he's a mix. Yeah.
He's vicious, but...
Oh, scary.
Alright. Oh, well, I'm Ruth. Go by Ruth is Strong for my Instagram followers. I know.
This how she gets so many followers.
Yes.
She didn't tell us nothing about no chihuahua. She went straight to her name.
No. Actually, that's just my name is like my mindset. I believe it's just a way of living. So, fun fact about me. I don't know. I believe in life. You have to go after what you want.
What do you want?
She was in Women's Health magazine.
Yes.
Was she? Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
What are you in there for?
It was just it was crazy. I got an opportunity to do an interview with them, and like amongst a sea of like messages that I get, like it was almost like I felt it was a blessing for me to see it because like it was just a request out of like little like hundreds that I get, and I read it. No, for real, because it's like I be wanting to get to all these folks, you know, like it's people genuinely like take the time out to message me, and it's like I feel like, you know, it's difficult, but anyway, so you know, this person messaged me and was like, you know, I want to do an interview. I think your story's amazing. And I was like, I don't know if this is legit. She said Women's Health Mag. She like 300 followers. I was like, I don't know. But no, she emailed. Yeah, she emailed me. I did the interview like June 18th. I submitted the questions. Totally forgot about it. And then July 1st, like my phone is blowing up. Like people are like, you just popped up on my phone. Like you're in the news app. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? And yeah, so
looks so
I'll
good.
go check out the story. Didn't know.
Yeah, man. Now you know. Fun fact of the day.
there you go.
I just wasn't expecting that when I told you that. You know what I mean? A Chihuahua family and a health magazine feature.
Yeah.
I support it, man.
Appreciate it.
So, Cheyenne, you had something that you wanted to ask, and you know, I want to give you the opportunity.
Yeah, I think y'all hit on it season 1.
Oh, she's taking
On
it back,
Instagram.
baby.
You know, I'm an active supporter, but are you guys currently in a relationship? Are you guys single? Is it complicated? Because, you know, men love to throw out it's complicated.
I'm currently in my longest relationship.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
that's dope. I think
I was gonna say, I low-key wanted to clap, low-key. No, that's awesome.
But now, it's dope because it's not. I mean, of course, every couple has their situations and issues that they go through, but overall, it happens. We move forward. It's not a big deal. It's not like, oh, now I'm holding that grudge against that person. It comes and it goes, and we keep moving. So it's, you know, relatively easy at this point. Relatively, you know.
No, it's good.
Because again, nobody's perfect, but you know.
7 months.
So.
Relatively.
Wait, are you guys still in the honeymoon stage?
I mean,
I don't think so. We get on each other's nerves all the
Okay.
time. No, she trying to stop me playing 2K. Like, I'm not going to stop playing 2K. That was argument, but neither here nor there.
Shout out to her. I am single still.
Okay.
But I am dating someone.
Exclusively,
So
or
it's
are you dating
complicated.
around?
Huh?
Exclusively, or are you dating around?
Define exclusive.
You're not talking to anybody else. Your focus is only on her.
Yeah, I'm exclusive.
Can you say it louder?
Huh?
We could. Did y'all hear it? We
I heard.
So it's exclusive.
I'm exclusive, but I'm still
So,
single.
But you what?
So how does that work?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, I feel like exclusivity to me is I'm not actively pursuing like anybody outside of her.
Mhm.
So she's the only person that I am dating, going out with, spending time with. But if we don't work out, like I don't feel obligated to, be in a relationship. Or say I'm in a relationship.
You're not committed.
Not committed to a sense where like if Megan Good pop up tomorrow, I'll be
Oh.
like, baby, I'm in an exclusive relationship. Like I can't. Nah.
Wow. Wait. So let's sit right there. So pretty much you're not focused on anybody, but you're not off the market, is what you're saying.
I'm off the market, but
What?
If
But
Megan
you're
Good
not in a
comes, it's cool.
relationship.
but I'm not in a relationship.
So what would categorize you to be in a relationship? Because I feel
A
like
title?
that hits
So are
all
you
the
saying like the
points.
title is what it is?
Me in a relationship, yeah, it's pretty much the title, like me.
That
Just
would be
being-
one of those.
Okay.
You make my argument so difficult.
No, listen. So, I'm exclusive.
I'm just really confused. I'm trying to understand why.
I'm exclusive. I'm only dating this person,
Mhm.
but I don't feel obligated to like move to a relationship yet. Like I'm not all the way sold on them and us together.
Okay.
So it's like-
this is
But
the
you're off
wrong
the
age
market
range.
and you're working on it.
I'm off the market as if I'm not pursuing anybody. I'm putting the focus in there to see if it's gonna work.
But no. So and correct me if I'm wrong. If y'all have a different definition, off the market means somebody else can't come in and ask you for
That's
your
what I
number
just
and get to
said.
know you. So yes, you're off the market.
That's what I said. I'm off the market. I'm not pursuing anybody.
But if somebody pursues you, you wouldn't let that happen.
That's what off the market means.
Yeah.
It means you're not out.
Yeah. I'm putting my focus 100% on the person that I'm dealing with.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's not to the point where I'm like,
That's the
this is-
confusing
Can I
part.
ask
Where,
a
well, why is there a butt? Wait,
Because-
this he needs therapy. Is the
That's
butt
the
just to make you
question.
feel
How
it?
long have y'all been dating?
like 2-3 months.
So let me ask you this: if we had to compare it to like something people can relate to, you're in a 30-day trial of Netflix, but you don't.
Correct. I don't know if I'm a purchase
You don't
yet. I don't know if I'm a renewed
So you're not
subscription.
using
It's a
Hulu
90
and
days.
nothing
It's been
else.
on 3 months.
Yeah,
It's
this
like,
is a
Yeah,
long
I don't know if
trial
you like it or
period.
I
not.
don't know if I'm. Nah, not 3 months.
So what changes to say,
A
oh,
lot.
I'm gonna keep pursuing this or I'm gonna stop? What would that look
So
like?
like in the beginning, I'm the type of person that falls fast traditionally. So
Trying to be
when I'm going with, it could be like 3 months. 3 days, and I'll be like, oh, I really like this girl. Like I'll cut everybody else off. But that can be just them being their best self during the dating phase.
Mhm.
So like I've noticed things that have changed since I've progressed to the exclusivity phase, where I'm like, that's like not a red flag, but it's a yellow little, like, I don't know if I could deal with that long term. So there's still things that I'll need to figure out about you
Mhm.
to see if I want to commit 100% to the idea of us just being together.
So you're just taking your time.
Correct, yeah.
You're in
Sorry,
an
I was
exclusive
around the
rela-
mountain, but
Yeah, it's all he's in an exclusive
like-
relationship.
yeah.
Just taking his time.
But you're not her boyfriend.
No, she's
Okay.
not my girlfriend. Yeah,
So he's dating one person, just taking his time.
I'm just dating one person.
So are you guys are both on one accord on that understanding?
Yeah.
How early did you guys have that talk? And same for you guys. How early is it to have that talk, or is it early, or does it just depend
That's probably 2 months.
on the vibe?
I just feel like I don't feel like it's a specific amount of time. I feel like you and that person kind of can determine it. Like I feel like if you're
Yes.
getting to the point where you're spending a lot of time like together and it's like almost like an expectation.
Mhm.
At that point, it's like if something were to derail, like say something goes wrong, like you guys don't end up hanging out or something like that. Like
Mhm.
if that's like a big deal, that's an issue. It's like okay, there's an expectation
Yeah.
now. Like maybe there needs to be a conversation about it.
Yeah.
I feel like with titles and commitment, it's very wishy-washy because one or the other is gonna get there first.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
if you guys aren't on the same page, it's really gonna throw a wrench into y'all's exclusive relationship that you're not boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel like it was a feeling. Like it wasn't a timeline like, oh, it had to be 6 months to a year or 3 months. It was like a feeling. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you need to be my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you're not there, then we can't do this.
Yeah.
Also,
See,
it's like I feel like if things are like not changing, like if something is like, if you're just kind of like in the same place, like kind of doing the same stuff, it's like if we're not going anywhere, it's like okay, like if you're not really getting any more out of it, it's okay, what's the goal here? Like, are we
like what
trying,
are we really building?
Exactly, like, are we growing towards something, or is this what it's gonna be? Because like, if that's that, like, you know, I'm out type of thing. You know what I mean?
And that's what I was trying to get to in that post. Again, I wasn't saying that titles don't matter.
Yeah.
I'm saying there's other stuff to me that are more important, and then the title comes. Again, the feeling and all that. You can just say somebody's your boyfriend, say somebody's your girlfriend. It's a feeling there, it's a foundation there, it's the actions there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's cool. They're your boyfriend, cool, they're your girlfriend, but what does it have any substance?
Yeah.
You know? So it's a sandwich with no meat.
To me, like, I want my next relationship I want to know, like, all right, this is the person I'm married to my life with. So I'm taking that very seriously, but I'm also, like, cautious to a step. Like, I don't want to open up too much. I don't want to give too much without.
Just be. Like you know, you said that was, but no, because seriously,
I know,
because you say you want to know if that's your wife or whatever, but
yeah.
that you may not find that out until you're with somebody for several months or years. So I don't think you should gauge it off of that. Like she said, go off the feeling of just what you get from. Do you get joy? Are you happy when you're around her? Like that type
What
of
if
stuff.
I get joy from a lot of people?
Well, that's the thing. I feel like
Like polygamy. That's the conversation.
But literally, like, I feel like I was literally about to say, like, I feel like that's the difficulty with that, like, dating in this generation, like, is extremely difficult for that reason. Like, you don't ever know, like, part of that confirmation is to know, like, you're not out here with a bunch of different people. Like, I'm trying to be safe at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even just about that, but it's just like, if you're investing all your time into one person, but they're investing in other people and you're not aware, like, that's like, you feel like your time was kind of robbed. Yeah, and like, you don't get a return on that.
Yep.
So it's all about being considerate about people at the same time, just being honest and transparent. Because I feel like at the end of the day, if you know you don't want something from somebody, like, or if that's not where you see it going, like, you know, just be open about it.
Yeah, that's important. And I think that's why, you know, judgment and trying to do your best of communicating and getting honest gauge of somebody's important, because you say being considerate, but a lot of people just aren't considerate in general. So why would they do that in a relationship or leading towards one?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's intentional, sometimes people just aren't there yet. So
Yeah.
you never know, but that's why it's tricky, man.
Yeah, that's one thing I've learned too, is that I used to be the type of dude that would like sell relationship dreams and not want a relationship.
To the women?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Like every girl I was talking to.
That's fucked up.
Why did you do that?
Like,
young.
Oh, it's just
at least you're being
what's
honest.
young?
24.
Oh, okay.
It's not that
3 years ago.
Yes.
But they say age don't even matter at this
It's
age.
adult.
Just whatever. Like,
This is my first time I was single though. Like, so.
You used to be in the hub.
Yeah. I was. I had a whole thing.
at least you're being honest.
Finally, you took on 3 seasons. That was a
Yeah,
best
it
season.
takes about 3
Oh man! Holy
Hey, this is the new
guacamole.
open year on this season.
But that's one thing I've
Transparency
learned is that
key.
I have to be honest because I'm
Growth.
one putting a
That's-
strain on
I was
myself.
about to say growth.
Like I'm investing in all these relationships. I'm like getting to know all these people, and I'm like, I really don't even like this girl. Like,
That's chancing though, to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
invest
Girl.
bits and pieces into somebody that you know good and well you don't want to
yeah.
invest any more
And I was
time.
like, man, it's so much easier to
It's
just
just
like,
maturity.
look, this is what I'm looking for.
You don't
I'm
have
gonna
to-
tell you when I don't feel this with you, and that's
Yeah.
gonna be that.
Yeah. You gotta be real with yourself.
Yeah.
It's called dating. Trial and error.
Yeah.
I agree.
Um,
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
That leads me to a question. What's the most important thing you've ever learned from a relationship? Current or past?
So for me, I would definitely say that like one of the biggest things I've learned in a relationship is that like you really have to love yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not even like saying that on a surface level. I mean like genuinely know like when you look in the mirror, like I fucking love that person. Like I want to do the best that I can to like make sure that person is like living and thriving in life. And you're looking at yourself. Like that's what I mean. Like apart from somebody you can be and live and love. Like not needing someone. I feel like that is the biggest thing.
Oh, yeah.
Period.
It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, so this is gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna let you or Dan go first because I'm collecting my thoughts.
I honestly wasn't listening to the question because I thought you were asking them, but I did hear her response, and that is something I've learned recently. I knew the foundation probably like 2015 after I got hurt or whatever. I learned, all right, why are you so hurt? Because you say that person your happiness, but you gotta learn how to have your own happiness. So cool, learn that. But anytime I would start dating and stuff, I would sacrifice that because my idea of a boyfriend and a man was to make the woman happy all costs. Now there are certain things I wouldn't scratch on, like
Selflessness.
being still cheap. to an extent, but I would still get them things, you know what I'm saying, nice things, but I was still me. So it's certain thing I wouldn't sacrifice on. But as I got older, probably within the last year or so, I realized, again, remember yourself. And I'm still working on loving myself, but I do know, like, it's okay to be selfish. Like, you know what you need. And you can't have a healthy relationship with another person because you're going to be arguing because you're mad, because you're not giving yourself what you need. Whether that's because you're doing something for them or because you're doing the wrong things. You have to figure out what you need to feed yourself, you know? And so I learned that, and I think that's helped tremendously. Again, like, not bending on something as simple as, like, I need probably just an hour to myself every evening to just disconnect. Granted, when we get married and stuff like that, there'll be ways around that. I'm not just gonna lock myself in a room for an hour. That's not how it works. But for right now, as I'm growing as a person and learning how to be adult, before I have to learn how to be a good man before I can be a good husband. So
exactly, you have to learn what works for you. Like, that's, you're learning yourself, so that you can, like, show somebody what that looks like. Because, like, how can you love somebody if you don't even know how to love yourself? Like,
and I think that's important. Why, like, it's good not to rush, because there's so many. You know how you can go to dates, to the movies, or to a restaurant, or to a party, and you get a different person out of your significant other. I think that's the same thing with life. While they're learning them, you're learning yourself. You learn how each other move together. You have to go through stuff. So I think it's just really hard to, you know, rush this. That's why I'm taking my time. I'm not trying to do anything crazy. Like, it'll be there. It'll be there. So figure it out first.
Because when you love yourself, you don't have to be anybody but yourself. And when you show somebody who you really are, it's like you learn, like, if you can be that person and somebody can appreciate that person, like, you got
real.
Exactly. It's like,
now you got something to work with.
It's such a freeing thing, being yourself. Like, you have to love yourself to really be yourself.
Just be.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
it's hard. You growing up, especially like kids in society, like,
it's hard.
You know, maybe picked on, or maybe you see something on TV that just an impressionable
Absolutely.
child. You're walking and you see somebody with, you know, chains, or you think you gotta wear this.
Exactly.
So it's a part of life, and hopefully that's why, you know, I like to do like things with nonprofits and stuff like that. You have to get Danny. I'll give you a shot. Danny just went down to Wingate and volunteered for some young men. So again, when kids are impressionable, you see, I'm just gonna keep going over there. Again, when kids are impressionable, you gotta do your part to make sure you radiate off of them too, so they're not just getting bad images in life. So if you want to speak about your volunteer act and how you're a hero, feel free.
I mean,
you do good things.
Oh,
did I get off topic?
Yes, you did.
It happens. Having a good conversation.
Did you think you didn't see it?
I kind of have two, and they're like.
See, I was just doing that so she had time.
I feel like they don't really go together in a pairing, but I've had 3 serious relationships. I wasn't big on like casually dating. So I feel like out of all 3, I learned that I need to have, like, be very vocal about what I want. Because my very first relationship, I started out very vocal, but he kind of, I would say, like, shut it down immediately. So then my next relationship, I was very quiet about it. And then I kind of transpired into my current relationship. But I figured out, like, once I laid down what I wanted on the table, it's like, okay, you either want the same things or you can kick rocks.
Right.
And, I mean, it's worked out in my benefit so far, but
Blame.
I feel like a lot of women are very hesitant to say what they want. And if they get any pushback, like, oh, it's because he might leave me, or I'm complaining too much, they just kind of.
I think that's both men and women too.
And for me, it was definitely insecurities. Like, I wouldn't want to. Like, it's my
wrong thing.
Yeah, do the wrong thing. It was certain people I know I could be like goofy with. Certain people I know I need to show this and that. Again, it was recently when I figured out, like, just be yourself. Like, this is who you are.
Yeah.
That ties perfectly into my lesson. Mine was just not placing my expectations on what I wanted somebody to be and just accepting them for who they are.
Let them just be.
Yeah.